G'day, Chris Walker here and talking about good headspace. The company's Innerwealth, and our motto is time for a change. We believe that when you live as nature intended, you get what nature intended. Perspective is what dictates your headspace, and for most people 1 and 1 is a simple answer, but if you change your perspective, it can be a different. Sometimes we're so close to things we can't see really the truth, and we call this chaos, but there's a way of seeing order in chaos. And that's what I'd like to share today. When we see an event, we develop an emotion. That emotion comes from our perspective. So we see something and we'll go, that's bad. And what happens is we start to express that emotion. And the interesting thing about emotional expression is it starts to develop story. And then we start to develop a habit. But the truth of the matter is, in nature, that everything bad we see has a good side to it. When something bad happens, in that very moment, something good is happening. And we can start to, if we wanted to, question things. We can develop different perspectives. So in other words, instead of just taking things as we see them emotionally, we can say, where's nature's law? Where is nature in this? How can there possibly be a dark side or something bad, or how can I be feeling pain about this? If nature's law applies universally, there must be something good about it, and search for that. And that's how we sustain a good headspace. We look for the good side in everything that happens. So just remembering, there's two sides to everything. Nothing bad can happen without a good, and nature abhors a vacuum. In other words, there's no way we can lose anything. We lose it in the form we've got it in, we get it back in a different form. So, bottom line, trust nature, evolve in through a situation. The other reason that gets us into a bad headspace is because we fear the future. All grief and sadness comes from holding on to the past, and most of that holding on to the past comes because we've attached the future to someone, something, or some situation, and the situation or person or thing has gone, and then we're futureless. We have no hope or dreams for the future. So it's very important to be independent in our visions and dreams for the future. And that requires that every now and again we do our vision quest. What is our vision? Independent of the world around us, and hold that vision very precious. Every person has 7 levels of vision, 7 levels of consciousness, shall we say. And that goes from got to, or survival mode, all the way up to inspired. And a good example of how this works is if my weekly outgoings are $650, which means I've got a monthly outgoing of $2,600 or a 3 monthly outgoing of $7,800. If I don't have $7,800 in the bank, then I have got to work. There is no choice, because within 3 months of not working, I'm going to be bereft. I'm going to be out on the streets, shaking a tin. So to rise myself up financially in my financial consciousness out of survival mode, I need to have $7,800 sitting in a bank account somewhere just in case I lose my job or lose my work. To rise myself up to the next level, I need another $7,800 to give me a further 3 months. So now I've got 6 months. And keep rising those $7,800 up until I have at least 12 to 18 months of financial capacity that I could survive into the future. Then I turn up in the day in an inspired state of mind. Basically, we can say there are 4 levels of consciousness. There's the black level, there's the red level, there's the green level, and finally there's the white level. And you can see from the money chart at the top that these levels vary in a financial sense. They vary with the amount of financial reserve we have. Now, we can apply this principle right across the board, and we can say that there are 7 areas of life. Each of them has its own little chart, its own little hierarchy. So we can be inspired or in survival in any one of the 7 areas of life. And that's why holistic thinking about our lives is very important. So we could be in any area in the black, red, green, or white zone, and it would look something along these lines. So here's the choice for a good headspace. See half, have emotion, and be in a upper 1 minute and a downer the next. or look for balance. Inner wealth, it's time for a change. Have a great day. This is Chris Walker, and remember, when you live as nature intended, you get what nature intended. Bye for now.